Because having standards is not about expecting too much. It's about what you're willing and not willing to accept. So I'm going to start off with the first one. The first one is saying no. You have to learn how to say no. You have to learn to know what it is exactly that you want and don't want out of this life. What is it that you are willing to accept and not accept? And be firm with it, and do not allow anybody to overstep that. So you have to speak up when it is necessary. So saying no to the things that do not align with you. Saying no to the things that do not serve you. Saying no to the things that you actually don't want to do. This is how you avoid people trying to take advantage of you, trying to push your buttons, see how far you're willing to go. If I would have said no in my earlier days to certain things that didn't align with me, I would have saved so much more time, so much energy, and so much of my inner power, my inner strength, because I destroyed it by not listening to myself and saying yes to things that I didn't want to say yes to. So saying no is number one. Number two, I have my notes here, so if I'm looking over here, it's because of that. So number two, what I wrote down is speaking your truth and asserting boundaries. And this comes into play with the saying no. So always speak your truth. Make sure what you're saying is coming from a place that is aligned to your fullest self, where you know who you are, but not from a place of lack, where your words can hurt others. I'm saying speak your truth when the truth needs to be spoken, when the truth is coming from your authentic self. And asserting those boundaries, asserting boundaries with certain family members, certain friendships, assert the boundaries to know that this is something I will not tolerate, and I am not going to pass this. I am not going to push my boundary for you, for another person that wants me to do X, Y, and Z when I don't feel okay with it. Say, assert your boundaries, because there's so many people in this world that will push your boundaries to see how far you're willing to go. There's men out there that are willing to push your boundaries to see if they can sleep with you. You don't know how to say no. If you don't know how to speak up, you cannot assert these boundaries. And the more that you practice this, the more that you will feel fine with asserting those boundaries into place. You're not being difficult. You're not being stubborn or a prude. If there is something that you do not like or that you really are specific about, say it. Speak that truth and set that boundary. People will respect you when you set boundaries. The people that don't respect you when you set boundaries, they don't have boundaries themselves. Because once you put a boundary with a person who doesn't have boundaries, they think you're being difficult. They think that you're being too stuck up or too rigid and stuff like that. And it's like, no, I'm not, babe. It's just that you don't have it. And I do. And it bothers you. Now, for my third bullet point that I have here, knowing your worth, aka self-love. Know how extremely valuable you are as a person, and actually believe that you are worthy of. When you know how worthy you are, when you love yourself so intensely, there's nothing that can disrupt that inner peace, that inner self-worth. You know why? Because you know whatever is being thrown at you, whatever is trying to disrupt that worth has nothing to do with you. Because you are so rooted in yourself that it can't break you down. It can only break you down when you don't know how worthy you are of yourself. I am worthy and capable of more than anything that I want to achieve. I felt the self-love pouring out of me, the worth in me that I don't allow others who don't see that same thing in me even cross me or even try to be around my vicinity. Then nothing outside of you can break you. Because you have that inner trust, that inner knowing, that inner love, that inner peace within you. When you are so rooted in that, your standard is so up here that people have no choice but to match your standard. You cannot be here and try to come here. Why? Because then it drags you down. That's why. When you know your worth, your standards are risen. And there's only room for people to rise up to those standards, or there's no room at all. It's simple as that. My fourth bullet point I have here is doing what you say you're gonna do. This cultivates a lot of inner trust in yourself. It proves to yourself that you're going to do exactly what you said you were going to do. You have that standard for yourself, so you will have that standard for others. It gives you the confidence enough to trust yourself. And let's say, because there is going to be some times that you might not be able to get something done, do not beat yourself up for it. As long as you make the decision that you're going to do it tomorrow and get it done, that is fine. You couldn't get to it at the moment, but you are going to do it tomorrow and you're doing it. But if you're prolonging the timeline for you to get it done, that is only going to create doubt. It's only going to create more resistance, more negative emotions and negative feelings about the situation and about yourself. And what do you think that does? Lowers your standards, lowers your vibration, lowers your self-worth, energy, everything. So do what you say you're going to do. Keep your word to yourself, keep your word to others. Something that just came up right now that I'm being called to share is before, back in the day, in the medieval times, all a man could do is give their word to someone. Your word was the biggest attribute. You were giving away your dignity, and if you break that, it's broken. No one will ever trust you. No one will ever believe you. It's done. It's the same thing here. Words carry energy. Words have vibrations. I feel like people nowadays have forgotten the weight that your words have. They have forgotten the value, the meaning of it. Don't forget how powerful what you say is, because it is so strong in every areas of your life. Do not forget that. Now for my last and final bullet point, number 5, which is my favorite: be unapologetic about yourself, about everything. That raises you to your most authentic self. Don't feel bad for being you. I've spent years trying to dim my light for others so they don't feel less than. But what about me? Where did that leave me? To feeling less than? No, we don't do that here. You be exactly who you are. Own that to its fullest. Do not feel sorry about being who you are, because that is who you are. That is what makes you you. That is your essence. Do not feel bad about being exactly who the heck you think you are. For years, I've spent doing that. And now, this isn't the time anymore. For me, I am not being me. And I want the same for you. Be unapologetically yourself. If you have a luxurious taste, do not feel sorry for having luxurious taste. If you are a gamer, own that thing. Be yourself. Do not try to please others. You are wasting too much time trying to please others, by the way. Be unapologetically yourself. It saves you so much energy. Never try to please others. Please yourself. And that is the highest you can ever be, vibrationally speaking. And like I said, all of these 5 things, they all come together. Being unapologetic, doing what you say you're gonna do, knowing your worth, speaking your truth, setting boundaries, and saying no. All of these things come together because it only grows your standards, your self-worth, your inner being, your inner knowing stronger. So that is all I have for you today. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, bye.